Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm out on the bike today. I'm going for a little bit of an explore around the western edge of the North Yorkshire Moors National Park. Now, unlike the last video, the last ride post that I did, we've got a much better forecast today. Despite appearances, this early morning mist is due to burn off and relinquish the sunshine. Pretty much unbroken sunshine is what is forecast, and the temperature will be in the mid to high teens. We've just got to get there mid-morning first, so that should give you guys enough time to grab yourselves a beer, grab yourselves a brew, strap yourselves in and come with me on this week's upload. Let's roll VT.
Where do you go when you're young, when you're restless, when you're fun, cause you're desperate? Oh, here they come for a chance, for adventure. What's your poison? What's your pleasure?
Okay, so that's the titles out of the way, as you've well seen, and it's also the meet and greet out of the way. Here's the sun just trying to burn through as we work our way towards our first trail. So we're going to focus predominantly on the western edge of the national park today, and yeah, as I say, just gentle trails, just something to scratch that itch and just get us out on the bike. Some familiar trails and not so quite familiar trails as well, so it is boding to be a good day. Numbers of bikes today, we are 8 bikes up, myself included, so that's about the maximum that you'd ideally want to run with. So let's work our way down to our first trail. Nice little inauspicious lead in with a tiny little sting in the tail, which is a water splash, and a little bit of a committed exit of the trail. So here we are, our first little inauspicious lane. Most likely meet a dog walker or two across here, I would have thought. Fairly inauspicious as you can see, or very inauspicious as you can see. But it does have that little stingette in its tail, which is a tiny little bit of a water crossing. Well, we just crossed a little beck, a little stream, and yeah, it's quite a committed exit just because of the gradient, and you just pop straight out onto the road. So it's an interesting one for sure. So yeah, this will be all of the good morning, thank you. So Queen Liz Memorial Seat just coming up to hovering into view through the mist, as we can see now. Yeah, so the lane was closed a week or two back, just while they were removing all of this dead wood, and that's obviously the tree that was dispatched and taken care of. I wish this mist would burn off. It is a little bit on the chillier side. Not cold, but I am dressed for the warmer weather, bearing in mind that that is on its way this afternoon. And we get these tantalising pockets where we just pop out and it's just that little bit brighter. I often think, you know, and I've said this so many times, that you do need a little bit of a gentler trail just to start off with, just to dial and bed those nerves in a little bit. And there we are. Let's just make sure we all get through okay. Happy days. Happy days indeed. Oh, beautiful. Here we are, not more than half an hour into the ride, and the sun is out, and yeah, moods are definitely lifting. So here we are in Skugdale. I've only ever done this once, and that was with Michael Heaton, so I'm just a little bit mindful of where the entry point actually is. I think it's here. Yes, it is, it's here. This is the right one. Yep, this is us. So once we're through these opening sections, I do believe that we're okay on gates, as it were. Have you got it? Awesome. Gate duty working well. Oh, there's a lot of gates on this opening section, I do know that. But once we're through, we should be good. I'll get this one. Skugdale. Lovely little lane. And thank you, Michael, for showing me this one. It's just nice because it's a very remote part of the moors, and this is a bit of an out and back, as it were, kind of the road section. So it's probably not that well travelled in terms of general trails as such. I don't know. I'm making a big presumption there. But look at this for absolute stunningness. Stunningness? Is that a word? Don't know. But yeah, this is absolutely brilliant. And there we are at the farmhouse. Pick the road section up, and then we're on to our next trail, which will see us push high up onto the national park. This is utterly gorgeous today, and look how busy it is as well. I would imagine we're going to meet quite a few people over the top of this little trail. This is called Sheepwash, and this takes us a little bit deeper into the national park, just pushing south down towards Osmotherly Way. And then we have this climb up Sheepwash. So everybody's with us. Can be a little bit slippy sometimes in the bottom this, but as long as you're just going straight and you're not really doing anything, then you should be okay. And a nice little climb. Everybody's looking good so far, what I can see anyway. Good morning. Thank you very much. Do you know that positive interaction there with people, big smiles on their faces, they know we've seen them, they can hear us backing the pace right down. And for me, that's what it's all about. Doesn't have to be negativity, we don't have to go hooning past people, absolutely not. Completely the contrary to that. These guys have already seen us, so we're just slowing down. Don't know whether they've got dogs or not. Good morning, thank you. Thank you very much. You see, big smiley faces, bit of a wave. No animosity there whatsoever. But I've long held the belief that I think as riders we do have a large influence as to how that exchange is going to happen before we even get there. And if you come across a trail such as Sheepwash, then ideally, yeah, you're going to expect to see people. Good morning. Thank you very much. Thank you. And this is where the top of the Sheepwash path comes out. Well, there's an awful lot of deforesting there, a lot of harvesting of the trees. And we can just turn the taps a little bit now. We should be out of the way of people, which is good. What an absolutely beautiful, gorgeous day that we've got now. I can actually feel the wind is now warm, whereas up until now it has been a little bit on the chillier side, but yeah, that is warm. 11 degrees. It was 6-7 degrees when I set off this morning, and 8 on those last few trails, so yeah, noticeably warmer. And this is the utterly stunning climb up to the Arden estate, and then we'll go over the tops and down past the big house, past Arden Hall. We will stop and have a little bit of a leg stretch at the top here. We've been going about an hour or so now, an hour plus. But yes, now that mist has burnt off, what a beautiful day. Just glancing down at the bike there, 11 degrees. This is incredibly pleasant. One more gate to get through, and then we'll have a little bit of a breather, bit of a leg stretch, and we'll enjoy this view. So here we are, Arden Estate, 11 degrees and climbing. Superb. What a fantastic day we're having. Everybody just commented there just how nice it is, just that mist has burnt off. Spirits lift, temperature lifts, everything is good. So for those of you that don't know, we're on the Arden Estate now. Down to our left hand side is the big house, which is Arden Hall. We'll see that in a second. Yeah, we've got some very good views today, that is for sure. And it's nice just to be out bone dry trails, look. Yeah, this is long overdue. It's been a long cold spell that we've had since the turn of the year. But here we are, nice and sunny, nice and dry as you can see. And it isn't windy either, which is absolutely fantastic. this is the namesake, which is Arden Hall. What an absolutely beautiful place this is, and we're just going to be very respectful because we are on an access road. Thank you very much, thank you. What a beautiful, beautiful house that is. Whoever lives there and manages this land, incredibly lucky. This can be really, really slippy in the bottom. This is such a slippy, slippy bottom. And for those of you that follow me on the channel, you will certainly see that last year I definitely found out the hard way by dropping the bike. And there hasn't been that much traffic. I can certainly see, could certainly see there. Yep, there was lots of algae in the bottom. Let's turn that camera off. This is the gorgeous descent down into the Rye Valley. And for those of you that know, the Rye Valley is also the home of Rievaulx Abbey. A monk's abbey dating back to, I think it's about the 12th century, I think, or possibly even before. I don't really know, to be fair. It did feature in the Transformers film, Knights of the Round Table. Or The Last Knight, should I say. It is an absolutely beautiful place, and you can certainly see why the monks picked the Rye Valley to build their abbey. A nice gentle trail just follows the riverbed, and across to our right hand side there, that's where the abbey is. We're not going to go past the abbey today. We're just going to break back and double back on ourselves, as it were, to pick up the Helmsley Road before we push on a little bit north into the national park. So we're going to get some lunch up at the top there, just somewhere off the escarpment. Enjoy the view, enjoy this weather. Good morning, thank you. Enjoy this lovely weather that we've got. And I tell you what, I'm going to lose these waterproofs, or windproofs as they're proving today. They're certainly not water resistant waterproofs. They are windproofing. Yeah, there's been a lot of log work going on here. Look how much the ground is just destroyed. It's certainly nice to have the trail dry, that is for sure. But it does get very rut-tastic across the top here. And that is something that I'm no fan of, and I'm kind of in that rut now, but we're in it, so we're gonna stay in it. Nobody likes ruts. Well, there must be somebody that likes ruts, but certainly not normally words that utter from my mouth. Ruts, fantastic, can't wait. No, I absolutely hate ruts. But as I've said several times, you've kind of, I don't know, you've just got to embrace that nemesis. Never going to master ruts, of course, but you've got to learn to embrace them. Oh, just the perfect stop for lunch. Waterproofs are off now, riding in our jersey. It almost feels like summer. We've certainly got to make of it. We're due a very cold snap following this weekend, ironically. But hey, that's the working week, so it doesn't really matter. What a view across to the east. Absolutely stunning. I do enjoy Beelum Rig, more so when it's dry. It's got to be said, I'm not a huge fan of it when it's wet. Let's get ourselves down here, because that looks a little bit chewy there, and a bit sandy. There we go. These are the bits that when it's wet you kind of spindle deep in sloppy mud, just for the size of the agricultural vehicles that use this this part of the escarpment for access. So off to Coldham Mill. That's our next trail, and I love Coldham Mill. And here we are then, south side of the national park. This is pretty much where we start to work our way north and west back to the starting point. So we're probably just over the halfway point of the ride. It is now 16 degrees looking at the bike. Waterproofs are off, as you can see, and for the first time 2025 we are jersey riding. Absolutely fantastic, and it feels good just to be able to move, just shed those layers, just be able to move a little bit, have that bit more kind of dexterity, as it were, with the bike. And yes, it has turned out to be quite the perfect day so far. We've got such a fantastic group out with us today that it has taken absolutely zero management, as it were. Everybody's expectations were just a nice, gentle, enjoy the day, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the weather, and that's very much what we've got. So we do have the little gem of Cen Mill next. On a spring day with a dappled sunshine just wafting through the trees, bathing the opposite side of the valley, this place is absolutely fantastic. Quite a few walkers there I can see, so we're going to need to be a little bit mindful of those. With any luck they'll get the gate for us. And here we are down in Cen Mill. This place, I don't know, I've always found this just a magical place, just spectacular, utterly stunning. And it just kind of sums up where we are. So there's a lot of people all going in the same direction. Afternoon, thank you. Thank you very much. And we're clear of everybody in one easy step. So, Cen Mill. On a beautiful day. Look at this. Utterly gorgeous. How could you not like this, eh? At least all of those leaves from the autumn seem to have gone, enabling us to see a little bit more clearly what's under the wheels. That's the worst thing about this lane, I guess, when you come down here in autumn time, is you can't actually see the ruts for the leaves. So this really is where we start the ascent, as it were. And I wonder whether that gate halfway up on the steep section will be open or not. No, it's not. Good old T7, second gear, climber gear. This is quite wet. Forestry work, that's why. Just wait for everybody else. Hopefully we're all okay. And this section here, when it's wet, this is an absolute nightmare. I genuinely don't like this bit in the wet. It's okay in the dry, there's bags of grip, but in the wet I think it's just a combination of the soil must be quite clay based, and it is astronomically slippy. So that was the beauty of Cen Mill dispatched. So this little road section sees us pretty much at the bottom of Farndale, which is the Daffodil Valley, as we all know. Now, we're not here to see the daffodils, of course. However, we can't do the lower section of a lane that we would like to do until the springtime. I believe it's kind of end of April, maybe even the beginning of May, because the ground is typically soft and it is a very popular lane, and that's Lund. And I'm looking at that directly opposite us now, and that disappears off up to the head of the valley. However, if we link that with this little lane, which is another whoopy jumpy lane called Lund Lane, that picks up a tiny little back road section that takes us to Thunderheads, and then we can drop down onto the legal section of Lund. Just check everyone's with us. Yes, they are. And that's exactly what we'll do. So let's get rid of you. Thank you very much there, Miracam. We don't need you anymore. And up Lund Lane we'll go. And you'll see what I mean about just the little whoopy nature of it. It's a very good lane, can be loose, but just you can launch the bike off. And I'm in the loose side now. But hey ho. Okay, so here's another one. Great fun. And there's not that many places you can jump a 200 kilo bike, not particularly going overly quick. I can feel the old wheels spinning up there, but good fun nonetheless. It's good fun is Lund Lane. Let's get across on this one, eh? There we go. Out of that rut, out of the loose rocky stuff. And we're coming up to the road section now, so it doesn't actually look like it, and if you're not familiar with this lane, then perhaps you wouldn't be aware that it's there and you could go hoofing straight across the road. So I will just back the pace down, stick that indicator on, just so the guys know that that's exactly where we're going. There we are. Superb! And this should link us down to Thunderheads. So here we are, Thunderheads. The last time I came down here, I put the camera on the back of the bike, which kind of worked, but it didn't really work. So we're going to keep on lid cam as we work our way down Thunderheads. Now, as you can see, this is an incredibly rocky, gnarly descent, or not for the faint-hearted, or the ATV bike, come to that matter. But hey ho, here we are. But at least it's downhill, and I guess, you know, particularly this time of year, it is widely stated by the TRF to only do this trail downhill for obvious reasons. Right, now this is going to be tricky. Interesting? Right. Is there any way I was ever going to get that gate for sure? Struggling to stand up here. See where we're going. It's fair to say I am but a humble passenger on this lane, but it's only literally like a couple hundred meters long and you're down at the bottom. This isn't graceful at all, and for you enduro viewers, I do apologise wholeheartedly, as you would no doubt be skipping your way merrily down here. Well, at least I can say I stood up for about 2 meters. Let's make that 4. There we are. It's definitely a downhill.
Thanks a lot.
Looking good. You can tell the riders that I've got a lot of foundation of trails riding, or trial riding should I say. Awesome. Brilliant stuff. You get through there? Cheers.
Thank you.
Love Louner, love gates. This is such a beautiful lane, and it's nice to see it on a spring day like today. It won't be long before everything is budding up fully, and we can already see the new growth shoots popping through everything, which is fantastic. Daffs are out, snowdrops are out, and all the buds are out. It won't be long before this is greening up. So one thing that we have got to be very mindful of and very respectful, particularly with this lane, maybe more than others, is the fact that we do pop out predominantly in the middle of people's homesteads, and it's just a case of keeping the speed down, keep it all nice and respectful. Okay, so that's pretty much Launa, and then we open up onto some dual track, which I won't film for you because these bits are certainly nice enough. But be careful we just don't get a little bit cross-axled with these chunks of wood that are across the track. Ow, didn't want that arm anyway. Yeah, like these sections here, they can just ping your front wheel out from underneath you before you know it. And this is another one where we've just got to be a little respectful of people's property. Come on in. Okay, so that's enough scratching around in the valley bottom. We're now going to climb the ascent up, what is it called? Church Houses. Yes, Monket Bank. That's where we're heading next. And yeah, certainly very busy down in the bottom of Low Mill there in the Farndale Daffodil Valley. Maybe just a little bit ahead of the curve with people getting out and about, but everybody is enjoying this beautiful weather that we've got. And I must admit, it feels fantastic to be riding just in the jersey. Trousers, obviously I've got the body armour on, of course I have, but it is just very, very nice to have that freedom of movement, like I was saying earlier, referred to it as general dexterity. So here we are then, tumbling off Rudland Rig. That's our ride done. A couple of guys are from the south of the region, so they've just peeled off and headed south, which makes perfect sense. And we're just heading north, back to our meeting point, back to the rendezvous point, and that'll be our ride done. So yes, bathed in sunshine, as you can see. Absolutely fantastic weather. Not quite crystal clear, but hey, we'll take it. The amount of times I've come over here recently and it's been thick pea soup, it's actually quite nice to be riding in the dry and in the dust. So if you have stuck with me to the end, then thank you very much for your company as always. If you haven't done so already, then please hit that subscribe button. It does wonders for those YouTube algorithms. And if you care to leave a comment, then again please do so. So we're going to enjoy this tumble off Rudland Rig down to Bankfoot Farm in the bone dry, enjoying this 18 degrees of tropical sunshine. So wherever you are in the world, guys, whatever you're doing, enjoy your ride, keep it safe, keep it shiny side up, and we will catch you for the next one. Cheers folks, bye now, bye.